I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. We sang that a few episodes ago, didn't we? I say a few.
I thought you were about to. I thought you were Dwayne Wade to LeBron James. I thought you were throwing me the alley-oop.
No, I'm a one-man show in this bitch. No, I'm just kidding.
And I was about to be like, just like it was, but you just started talking.
But like Jack. Okay, so we sang that in our Christmas month at some point in time for one of the pods, right?
One of the episodes. I've been thinking about bringing the singing back, but I don't know. I don't know about that.
I don't know either. But it really came back to bite us in the ass, or at least me, because that snow we had recently.
Hey, that's about a white Christmas, and we had a white January.
Yeah,
white
we had a white, New Year's. And I loved not being able to go into work one day, because I mean, I didn't need to for that matter, because all the trucks were stopped anyways.
Yeah.
But boy, was it a bitch to get out the one day where it just started snowing halfway through my shift.
I was worried about it because it was supposed to start snowing around 7, and I know you're usually at work by then. I left work a little early to beat the snow by a little bit, but when I heard that it was going on at 7, usually are at work by then already the motion
for a few hours.
So
yeah.
I was a little worried about it.
Yeah, up here it wasn't supposed to snow until 11, and I was like, cool, it'll only be like an hour and a half till I'm off and can go home, and it started snowing at 8.
Yeah.
So I was like, I might have to leave early, and I think I did. Left early and called out the next day.
Yeah, I was happy to get a day off, but I was pretty tore up about that thing that I sent you.
Yeah.
Taking the glasses off so the light doesn't fuck with the camera again. I gotta remember to do that. Oh my god.
Be like me, get contacts.
But no, I didn't have a lot of trouble just because I didn't have anywhere to be on Friday. For those of you probably heard about the winter storm coming through. The winter storm was hitting the east and Midwest while the West Coast is just being set on fire.
Getting literally fucking
which thoughts and prayers out to everybody.
Absolutely.
I hear that shit is like, I hear it's one of the worst wildfires it's ever been in California.
And it sucks that people immediately try to make it political. Like, just let tragedy be tragedy and, try and help out those who actually need the help.
Yeah, I was scrolling through TikTok, and we're just going to lightly touch on this, lightly dip our foot in and get the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
Scrolling on TikTok, and I found someone on Fox News, and he was like, it was probably intentional, but like, Jesus Christ, man. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But I didn't have anywhere to be with the snow, and on Saturday afternoon, I had somewhere to be. I had to go get my lady from work. And luckily, it was pretty much melted by then.
Yeah.
I only really faced difficulties on Sunday because Sunday, most of the snow was melted, but overnight it got down in the 20s.
Yeah.
So that hill froze.
Yeah.
And I didn't even think about that until I was at work and I was packing and I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
So what I ended up having to do is I parked across the street. I didn't go down the driveway.
Oh.
I parked across the street, took my lady to work, and then when I came back, I saw the hill, and it actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
But went down there, still slid a little bit, went down the hill, parked, and I took the shovel I just bought, and I went up there, and I just broke up all the ice.
See?
Got it out the way.
See, where you live, I wouldn't even trust parking across the street, to be honest. Just
well, luckily,
the type of street
had
it is.
Yeah, it was a little sketchy, but honestly, Tennessee this was the best response Tennessee has ever had to snow. Like, within a day, most of the streets here were clear. Or at least around here.
Yeah, up here, I I don't think they salted the roads, but also I didn't leave my house Saturday. So I couldn't really tell until like mid afternoon when the snow was like melted off the roads at the very least. But it was still a little sketchy to get around.
I was nervous because Amazon in the morning when I got off was like, okay, day shift doesn't have to come in. But they weren't canceling night shift. And I woke up and it was snowing, but there were cars driving up and down my front street. Not as many as there usually are. It was like one or two every 30 minutes, but there were cars.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck. Oh, God. But luckily, as I really started worrying about it, they got it out the way.
That's cool. That's cool. They, at my job, they said you wouldn't get pointed if enough people called out. And I was like, well, I'm calling out. And I'm also going to use some of my time off because I still want to get paid for it. I don't want to fuck up my paycheck. So.
Yeah, luckily Amazon, the very first time they had a building shut down, they were like, you're not getting paid for it. But then everybody in that building found out the rest of the warehouses around us were getting paid for it. So that same night, they sent out a text saying, oh, no, that was a mistake. You're getting paid for it.
The common backtrack. Oh no, that wasn't meant to actually be sent out.
Amazon is the epitome of. I saw a funny ass video where it was like throwing a pizza party, and she opened the pizza box, and on the pizza box there was a note that said, "Please don't start a union."
Yeah, I think I've seen a picture of that.
But Z, you said snow, and that's one of the special little words we have for the game.
Damn it.
Okay, for those of you, we played this game in the Lost episode that Jackie fucked up. The game was active last week, but Z escaped every word.
Barely.
Didn't say a word.
I guess.
So now I have to explain it since we haven't played it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thought of this segment. Let me know what y'all think of it. Basically, I have a list of words that are right here. And if Z says one of them, he has to do a little sports trivia. Now, this sports trivia is special because it ranges from like cricket to football, to soccer, to tennis, to bowling, to skiing, everything.
And I think I may have said this in the Lost episode, but as much as I talk with Jackie about football, especially on this pod, I don't know shit about a lot of sports. And football is probably one of them. I only know players because I played fantasy. And that's about it.
So this should be a fun time.
Yes,
full of wacky
absolutely.
and fun adventures. Let us know your score. And now on this card, one side is brown, one side is green. Z, do you want brown or do you want green?
Well, since we're starting it off, I'm going to go with my color green.
Your color green.
Could go either way.
Like I said, play at home. Let us know your score. Z,
all right.
Which two countries co-hosted the first Rugby Union World Cup?
I'm going to go England and Spain.
I'm sorry, Z. That is very wrong.
Oh.
They're very far away from the actual country.
Australia.
I'll give you another chance. Okay.
Okay.
First of all, you got one of the countries correct just now.
Okay.
My hint was going to be it's the bastard of England. I'm sure that offends everybody from Australia. But what is the other country other than Australia?
Okay, other than Australia, can I get a hint? Is there?
It's in the same realm as Australia.
In the same realm as Australia. Okay, world geography. Let's get it.
Little geo-guesser.
Yeah. Australia's over here, and then in the same realm would probably be India.
That's not entirely wrong. Not in terms of the question, in terms of same realm.
Yeah.
But it is wrong. The other country is New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Which is literally right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you like to give a swing at the brown question?
Sure, why not?
This one is stupid easy, in my opinion.
Okay.
The terms spike, serve, and dig relate to which sport?
Tennis. Wait, Spike serving dick. That is volleyball.
That is volleyball. Round of applause. Yay. He got 1 of 2. Let us know how you did. New Zealand and Australia, rugby is stupid popular.
Yeah, I knew it was not mainly an American sport. So I tried to go European, but I guess I was a little far off.
My high school had a rugby team, and I was interested for a second.
Mine did too.
My dad, when he was on tour with Dolly, for those of you who don't know a little bit of dad lore, my dad was a bodyguard for Dolly Parton for a little bit.
Yeah.
And they were on a European tour, and he went to England, and he made friends with some of the security guys there.
Nice.
And one of them ended up flying to America and spending like a couple weeks here. And he brought a rugby ball, and he taught us how to play rugby. And it was fun. Cool. It was very fun. I
can't, anytime I see videos of rugby, it's like, it seems like there's a lot of things to know about playing that game. Like one clip I watched was they had just broke the diamond, I believe, or whatever that phrase is called. Like they had just started in the diamond and something had happened and everybody had stopped, but the play wasn't stopped. And the guy holding the ball was like, they didn't stop the play. And then in order to keep going, he like kicked the ball or something and then just started running with it. And I don't know what that like rule is, because that's what I saw like everybody do from there on was kick the ball and then start running.
You know the signature Philadelphia Eagles play, the brotherly shove, the tush push?
Yes.
The play they run every 4th and 1?
Yes.
And it works every single time.
Absolutely.
That's a rugby play. They learned it. They got taught it by a former rugby player. They even have a former rugby player in Jordan Mailata playing left tackle.
I'm assuming it has something in relation to do with the diamond, I'm guessing. The starting diamond.
I don't know.
It seems the most similar, but also I don't know any other rugby plays or whatever the fuck.
See, how I learned rugby is I learned how to throw the ball, and you always throw it backwards. You don't throw it forward.
Okay.
And plus, it's like a spin. Like, with a football, right there.
Yeah. With
a rugby ball, it's down here.
I've always seen them
like that.
Yeah, do like the two-handed bowling type shit.
Yeah, and if you need to score, you have to touch the ball down on the goal. Whatever.
Don't you also?
I'll call it a touchdown. He has to touch the ball down.
Couldn't you also kick it through the uprights?
Maybe.
I don't know rugby.
I learned very surface level rugby, but now for everybody, because there's a massive debate on whether or not NFL players are pussies and rugby players are real men. And let me tell you something for all you fucking scumbags in this argument. I don't care. Who gives a fuck? Like, who cares?
That sounds like the kids in marching band that were like, marching band is a sport. I'm just like, I don't care.
Marching band is a sport?
Because there's competitions. That was their reasoning. I'm just like, I don't care.
Like, yeah, I genuinely would look at him and be like, okay, sure. Who gives a shit?
I mean, yeah, we're all playing instruments and marching around the field. Okay, cool. That's all I need to know. That's it.
Yeah, no, I really, it's the same, like, one of the big reasons I pulled out of sports talk is there's so many conversations that I just sit down and I'm like, why is this a discussion? Like, people were legit getting in fights for hours debating on the ratings between the NBA and the NFL. And I just sit down and I'm like, who cares?
Which part of this argument is helpful to anybody?
It'd be one thing if it's like WWE versus AEW, because at the very least, like, obsessing over the ratings is weird, but at the very least, it's the same thing. Basketball and football are not the same thing.
No. And I mean, since we're on rugby, American football is.
Oh, shut up. Actually, here we go. Here's one thing. I don't give a fuck about you European cocksuckers. All right? Soccer. It's soccer. Fight me. I don't give a fuck.
I don't know and don't care enough to try and figure it out.
Here's what we do. We accept the cultural difference and we move the fuck on. I don't get about being so pressed when Americans say soccer. Shut up. Well, America, you don't even use a foot. We have kickers and punters, pussy.
Yeah, it's not the full squad on the team, but at least 2 guys.
They're just mad that soccer is a less exciting version of hockey. God, I hope you get pissed off for that. Fuck you. Hockey's better.
Oh. I'm just like,
Any
I don't...
European fuck that might stumble across this podcast. I know we're a little ass podcast and no one listens to and we're trying to grow, but fuck you. Fuck your mother. Fuck your tea and crumpets.
I think we actually do have some viewers from like the United Kingdom. So
maybe a couple.
I think it was like a few percent. So
they don't want you to look me in my eyes if you're offended. Go cry to your mom, bruv. Fuck off.
He's doubling down. Somebody hold this man back before he gets us booted out of a few countries.
Booted out. We try to have like a live tour when we go to Europe and just get booed out of the fucking place.
Remember in episode 53? Two. Forgot, lost one.
Oh shit, this is a full year of podcast, by the way.
Yes. Episode 50 was our New Year's episode.
Yeah, we were gonna do a special little thing for the 1 year anniversary, but it just kind of slipped my mind.
Oh crap! Yeah, it totally did.
Yeah. I'm kind of like I'm really focusing on trying to grow this. So, we had 2 different ideas for the year episode or whatever, but
I think in 2 days after this recording is the official start to the channel.
Yeah, it was like 16th, 19th.
Yeah, one of those days. I'll remember it more in the future. I'm bad with anniversaries, though I did remember mine, so that's all I gotta say.
Maybe. I remember my wedding anniversary, kind of.
Didn't you like just celebrate it a little while back?
Sort of. Well, it's like we got married on the 19th, but the original plan was the 21st, so I keep having to change my mind between the 21st and the 19th.
Oh, between the original plan and when it actually happened?
Yeah, and then we have the anniversary that we celebrated forever, which was the day we got together, which is February 17th. And I've had to rewire that out of my brain. And then we had the original wedding date, which was August 6th, and that didn't happen. So
I remember that one.
It's a very, very... We did not get married in the traditional sense at all. At all. We plan on renewing our vows sometime in the future and having like a legit wedding. Probably going to be the same food, hopefully.
That's fine.
Good Lord.
That's fine.
That food is fire.
It's absolutely okay with me.
Oh, talking about the snowstorm, by the way, the day before, my lady texted me and she was like, hey, Grammy texted me and she was like, she knows you're going to be at the house by yourself. So she was like, do I need to bring him some food from Fat Boys? And I said no, because I felt like a burden. But I'm telling you, Friday night, I was like, why didn't I say yes? And my lady was like, I know. And I'm like, I really want some of them ribs right now.
Yeah, I noticed you were at home Friday night, and I was just like, oh, I guess he didn't go into work. And I was like, that makes sense, actually.
Yeah, dude, I told you I was a horrible shopper. I thought I did amazing, but I did good when it came to getting her food. For those of you who need to know the situation, my lady is the lead concierge at her job. So she went in on Thursday, and to miss the snow, she stayed Thursday night, Friday night, and came home on Saturday. So on Thursday, I went to the store, got paid getting groceries, and I did a good job getting her snacks and food for, a couple days. But for me, I got 2 frozen pizzas.
What's funny is I also did a horrible job shopping because I was like, I don't need much. I have food at home, but I wanted like snacks. And I went to Walmart on my way home from work. And I was like, okay, let's see what I can grab here. I grabbed enough for like dinner that night and probably like snacks that I just never felt like touching the entire like time I was at home. It's like, why did I
Yeah.
even buy these if I guess I really didn't want them.
I was like, why did I not get me some like meat that I could actually cook? Like, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I was such a moron, dude.
I need to get back on my like grocery shopping game because I used to be like pretty good about it, and now I'm just like, I'll go when I need to. But
Well, what is the best frozen pizza in your opinion?
I don't think I really should have an opinion about it because the only like frozen pizzas I usually get are those little Totino's pizzas.
Oh, come on, dude. Like, they're cheap, I get
They're
it.
cheap. That's exactly all
Nasty.
it is.
Nasty. Dude, I was watching one of my favorite YouTubers, Papa Meat, and he did a ranking of every frozen pizza, and he put Totino's at the top. And I'm like,
I wouldn't do that.
No.
Not by a long shot. Totino's is not the like what I would think of when it comes to like an actual pizza.
No, it's cheap.
Yeah, it's just cheap.
It's nothing. It's nothing but something to put in your mouth.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. And I haven't bought one in a hot minute. And I don't think I've bought a frozen pizza in a while either. So
this was the first time in a little bit that I bought a frozen pizza, but I bought it because it was on sale and it was buy one get one. I'm usually a Red Baron guy. Love me some Red Baron, right?
Yeah.
But when I can afford it, like when it's on sale and buy one get one the other day, Screamin' Sicilian, fire.
Okay, yeah, you
Fire.
That pizza box actually looked like a restaurant box. So I was like, where the fuck did he get that? Because that looks familiar. Because I kept thinking of what's that place? The place with the square pizza slices.
Jets?
Nope. Yeah, Jets does do that, but oh
most
my gosh,
places have a Detroit style kind of.
It's like thin crust all the time.
Is it chain or is it like a local joint?
It may be chain. At least it was at one point. I haven't seen many around more recently.
Marco's.
Nope. Marco's is definitely changed.
Pizza Hut.
Or chain.
Not Domino's.
It's like I think it's almost like it. Their building design, from what I remember, is almost like a Pizza Hut. They do like they have like an all-you-can-eat bar.
Hungry Howie's.
Nope. They have a pizza bar, salad bar.
Anyways,
yes,
square pizza.
Square pizza. I don't remember where I was going with it, but it looked like that box. Looked like the box to that restaurant that I cannot remember. Had
Screamin' Sicilian?
I have not.
Dude, it's fire. It's $7 a pizza, but it is for frozen pizza. That's fucking expensive.
Yeah,
that's up there. But fire.
I think
that and Freschetta.
I'm sorry.
Freschetta frozen pizza is fire.
Haven't heard of that one.
Dude, Freschetta's good. I've had a lot of frozen pizza.
The last one I think I would have bought was a Red Baron.
See, what I know about frozen pizza, Tombstone's nasty.
Haven't had Tombstone in a decade.
I don't like Totino's. DiGiorno's okay. Red Baron is fire. Screamin' Sicilian is fire. Freschetta is fire. Walmart brand pizza is underrated.
Yes.
Dude, you get a 5 cheese pizza from Walmart. Oh my God.
For like dude. $5 for a large pizza?
Yeah, and their old barbecue chicken pizza? Fuck, dude.
I haven't had a barbecue chicken pizza since I've last been to CC's, which has probably been a few years as well.
Oh, let me tell you, the Screamin' Sicilian I got was the ultimate pepperoni.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah,
jealous.
The first one I had, I did all the pepperonis, but I was saving the other one, and me and the lady had it a couple nights ago. But what I did was I also got her some dino nuggets. Yeah, I get the dino nuggets. Right? But I had some Sticky Fingers barbecue sauce, so I made the pizza and also threw the nuggets in the air fryer, got them out, tossed them in that barbecue sauce, and had like makeshift barbecue boneless wings with the pizza.
That doesn't sound too bad. I mean, it sounds like a horrible meal, but doesn't sound too bad.
Which did I ever tell you about this lawsuit? This dude sued Buffalo Wild Wings over their boneless wings.
No?
He sued them because it wasn't actual wing meat.
To think anybody would know that. I've only ever called them fancy chicken nuggets.
Dude, it's a funny joke of like, oh, it's not actually, chicken wings. They're just saucy nuggets. They're just chicken. It's a fun joke, but to take it as far as suing them?
To sue?
Fuck off. Shut up.
To sue? That's wild. You could just go to literally any restaurant that serves boneless wings and sue them as well. You might as well.
Yeah.
Make it.
And people were really harping on the fact that it said boneless wings. A lot of places, it will just say like bonus nugs or saucy nugs or...
I think Wendy's is like the only place I know that said like saucy... I think they actually called it saucy nugs.
Around this time, which was I think like 4 or 5 years ago, a lot of the places were avoiding the word wing to avoid lawsuits like this because he was suing that they were called boneless wing. Shut the fuck up.
Unfortunately, I'm assuming this guy was American, and unfortunately, and especially America, you have to be real fucking tedious about the tiniest little things for shit like that.
Yeah.
Like they even say like in engineering, you design your product for the dumbest person. Because, they're going to break it somehow, or they're going to get fucked up somehow.
I will say, as I've grown older, I've waned off boneless nugs. I'd rather have me some good traditional wings. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've only ever really liked traditional wings.
I always liked boneless just because it was easier, and I was never really a dry rub guy, and I didn't want to get messy, didn't want to deal with the cleanup.
Yeah.
So just stick a fork in it, dip it in some ranch, and I'm cool. But now that I like a lot more dry rub stuff, and now that I don't really care when I do get saucier stuff, I'll get me some traditional.
I really only ever eat traditional, and then I just hope that I can wash my hands well enough to get the sauce off afterwards.
I'm not a side picker, though. Like, I'm a drums and flats guy. I'm not a singular... flats or drums.
If the option is free, I will choose mostly flats or flats only because that's my preferred one. But I truly don't care.
What's your technique for eating the flat?
I split it and then I eat one side and eat the other, like dip and eat.
Really?
Yeah.
See, what I do is I take the wing and I put it on the plate and I hold it, push the meat down to the edge or to one tip of it. Dip it in some ranch or whatever, and then I'll put the whole thing in my mouth and just...
I've tried that way a few times. It was too much to think about, I guess. Since I had been so, heart set in my, Yeah, I
3 steps.
I said too much to think about, not too much to do. I have my habits. And if I try to eat those wings a different way, I'm thinking about doing it. And I don't want to think about eating while I'm eating. So
I will say the convenience of drums, just pick it up and that's it. Now, are you a big guy with cleaning the bone? Are you a big you better eat all that fucking meat off that bone?
Depends on how high I am.
What does that mean?
When I'm blasted, I will just pick through the bone until I get everything. Yeah. If not, a little bit of gristle left is fine.
See, I that motherfucker's shining. That thing is sparkling when I'm through with it.
And this is why we look the way we do now.
Listen, I was going to bring this up. I was thinking about this even a couple minutes ago. Mm-hmm. We haven't done a tier list since Halloween. Right?
Oh, we haven't.
And when I run through tier list in my head, I'm like, we can do ice cream, we can do frozen pizza, we can do, and I'm like, do we really want to do ice cream though? Looking the way we do, that's not a good look.
I mean, all of our tier lists have been food related.
Fast food and candy.
Yeah. So I feel like we're running up a stigma with all of our tier lists so far because it's always just been food.
We did start a cartoon TV show tier list. That was the one we had to stop.
Yes. And then we never went back to. So I think we made it like a solid halfway through that tier list.
We could probably go back to it now, but I think we started that in the middle of November, I want to say. Maybe.
A little earlier, I believe.
Maybe.
It's been a
probably
minute.
Do that again.
Yeah, we can run that back. Probably sometime in the near future, maybe.
I was also thinking about a way we could possibly do reaction videos again.
Yeah.
Which I would be very, very down to do. The problem is the reason we have not done reaction videos, and I'm upset about it because they were doing great.
Yeah.
They were doing really good. I think 2 out of the 3 reached over 150 views.
Yep.
One of them is close to 300 views. But the reason we can't do it is I record all of it and I show the video, and it makes my computer just does not have the capabilities for that.
Yeah.
Does not have the facilities for that. So that's why in the video you saw me going,
yeah,
just lagging out.
Yeah, I mean, I had that same issue back when I was recording both of our videos and audio, or at least my audio. Because I guess the way I had it set up would also make my camera or yours by comparison do the exact same thing. And it would always just be one or the other.
Well, it's because I would have Audacity running, OBS running, Discord running, YouTube running, and then I would be streaming the YouTube screen onto Discord so you can watch it. My computer was like, what the fuck?
It's like, oh no.
So maybe at the very least, I'm going to not use Audacity and just use OBS to record my audio.
I was going to say, I had a little hookup for you for computer parts, but I forgot to text you. And they're gone now, so.
Even then, I mean, you know.
Yeah.
You know how money is.
Oh, yeah. It was going to be free. Like, legit.
Ah.
Yeah. It had gotten scavenged through for most of it, but I had a motherboard and I think a case that could have been used, but I said, let me text some people, and I texted one person, got busy at work, and then forgot to text anybody else. So
my lady just got a new laptop, and she got a Microsoft Edge with a touch screen, right? She can, do whatever. And our old laptop, it busted while I was at work. It was on the verge of dying. Like, it was dying.
Yeah.
And then it just finally wouldn't turn on. And she halfway blames it on me. So when she got this, she looked at me and she said, I don't want you taking it to your work. I was like, but? And she was like, you're not taking it to your work.
She said, hard line. If you cross it, we're going to have some issues. I mean, but hey, my $1,400 paperweight is sitting on a shelf right now. So that one, I really want to get working again. But I have to do quite a bit of tinkering until I can.
I've been meaning to take the laptop to go get fixed, but money.
Yeah, money, which is why I was trying to do it myself. And I found like 2 leads, but both of those go way farther into computer technology than I have ever gone, and I don't want to deal with it. So,
see, I feel like in order to do this job properly, I need to know more about computers. But anytime I'm like, oh, I'm going to get myself educated, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to watch a video, I'm going to read up, I end up just...
That's why you've got me to regurgitate information that I catch every now and again.
Yeah. But as they say, if you want to be successful, surround yourself with people that are smarter than you. You know what I mean? You got to have a guy. You can learn it yourself, but you got to have a guy.
Have a guy. You got to have somebody to help you, If you don't know what you don't know, so.
You got to have a guy that'll come over and just work on you,
I don't know. I don't think I like how you're wording this right now.
Got to have a guy that comes over and just work you off. You know what I mean?
You're trying to like make it worse, but work it off just didn't make sense.
I'm just shoving innuendos into here. I'm gonna have sex with a man. That's basically what I'm getting.
That's what's gonna happen here. We're gonna set up cameras. It's gonna come in for a computer repair guy, and you're gonna be like, "What's wrong with my computer, Zaddy?"
See, at the very least, I didn't say zaddy. I can hang my hat on the fact that word did not come out of my mouth.
Well, I hate to break it to you.
I mean, what's worse, though, saying zaddy or saying I'm going to fuck a man? And I was trying to hide it.
Probably the second one.
I love the fact that Discord cut me off right there.
But I saw your mouth, and I knew what you said.
But no, you want to hear one of the most outrageous / funniest / fucked up stories I've ever heard?
Sure.
Have you ever heard of the Brazen Bull?
No.
Okay, the Brazen Bull was this bronze bull, right? And I forget which country the inventor was from, but the inventor pretty much pulled up to the castle with this thing, right?
Yeah.
And he said, "This puppy right here, I know you've been looking at different ways to torture folks that are doing no good, doing you wrong. So just throw them in this, light a fire underneath, and it will start cooking them. But the best part, the acoustics in it were built to where their screams are going to come out of the bull sounding like a bull." Huh? How about that?
Okay. I looked it up, and the first thing I see is some game called Limbus.
Limbus.
Yeah, it autofilled Limbus for me. I don't know what that's supposed to be, but it looks like an ancient Greece device.
Ancient Greece, okay.
That just sounds, man, torture.
But the funniest part of this story was the emperor or whoever was like, "Ah, that sounds amazing. Get in." And the inventor was like, "Huh?" And he said, "Get in. Hop in. Show me how it's done."
Oh, man.
And he hopped in, and they lit it on fire. They used it. They used it for criminals, but the first victim of it was the inventor.
Now, that would just, for me, that would deter any ideas I would have had in making another torture device. It's like, I tried to do you a solid by providing you some entertainment for these criminals, and you throw me in the bitch? Like, no. That's not...
Oh, yeah, no. Dude, there were so many inventions that related to torture and execution where the victim, at least one point, was the inventor themselves.
I
think the guillotine was the same way.
That wouldn't surprise me, to be honest.
But just, I imagine like the Homelander scene. I'm not joking anymore. Jump.
Or the what was it? End of season 1. I think you know what I'm talking about, maybe. Where Homelander,
back to season 1.
Homelander, care if I like even spoil it for the rest of the people who maybe have not seen it?
Oh, season 1 was where the wife of Billy dies, right? And Stormfront dies. Or was that season 2?
That was... They've only got 2 seasons.
They have 3. They have 4.
Oh my
Season
gosh.
3 was with Soldier Boy. Season 4 was the most recent one. What happened in season 1? Season 1, Huey joined with Billy.
Season 1, it might have been the end of season 2 then. Where Homelander laserized the crowd, or at least the one guy in the crowd.
That was the end of... That was the end of season 3, because in season 4, he's dealing with the trial.
Yes. Yeah. You're right. That is season 3. Why do we bring up Homelander again?
I said that the Brazen Bull thing reminded me of him telling the dude to jump
Oh,
or the girl to jump.
okay, yeah, and somehow that tied into the guillotine, which, I guess I say it doesn't surprise me because of how big the guillotine got. You know,
Yeah.
the French Revolution and shit.
Oh, in France it was
yeah,
they were killing
yeah,
everybody.
yeah. Even their own monarchs. So,
Dude, and that could be an interesting little conversation. But first, torture was a word on my
why
list.
was that a word on the list?
Because I was going to bring up the Brazen Bull, and I was hoping that you'd say torture at one point.
Damn it.
So, brown or green, Z?
Brown this time.
All right. How many gold medals did gymnast Simone Biles win in the 2016 Olympic Games?
3.
You're one off. It was 4.
Damn it.
4 Olympic medals.
I don't watch the Olympics, and I thought she was only in one category, so.
Do you want to try the green?
Sure.
Which boxer styled himself the Celtic Warrior?
Boxer?
Boxer.
I almost said Sheamus, but that's a WWE.
I was about to say Sheamus as well. Oh, my guess would have been Sheamus.
Isn't that the boxer? Isn't he the guy that was in Roadhouse?
Are you about to guess Conor McGregor?
Yes.
It's not Conor McGregor. Hey, Conor McGregor was not a boxer.
He was an MMA fighter. So, yeah.
It was Steve Collins.
I don't know who that is, so yeah.
Now, when I hear Steve Collins, I think of, I can feel it coming in the air tonight. But that's Phil Collins.
Oh.
Oh, long. And I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. You're acting like you don't know that song.
I know the song. I'm just you were in it. I was just enjoying the show. My face just may have been too literal.
Oh, no! I kind of hit that.
It does not sound like it over here.
It's because my mic can't handle me.
Oh, okay. You heard it here first, folks. His mic can't handle him.
But no, you touched on a subject that I've been actually wanting to get into for a couple podcasts.
Oh.
And that is to deal with the French Revolution, right?
Okay.
There is a lot of people that will say, and really I started thinking about this with the conversation around Transformers 1. I haven't seen Transformers 1.
Neither have I.
But I've seen enough clips to know what the premise is, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The regular citizens of Krypton. Mm-hmm. The inner nerd in me just shot myself.
Yeah.
Krypton. Cybertron are being oppressed by the Primes, okay?
Okay.
Optimus Prime takes the route of like justice and, yada, yada, yada. Megatron does what you expect. Yeah. He's like, we got to kill all of them. All of them are guilty. All yada.
He takes your approach.
And people want to say like Megatron is right. Another example of this is Professor X versus Magneto. People want to say Magneto's correct.
You just missed an entire debate we had about this on Discord 2 nights ago.
Okay.
It was a gigantic debate about whether Magneto or Professor X was right. And I believe the guy arguing for Magneto kind of did win the argument.
Well, let me tell you something. Magneto's mindset, Megatron's mindset, it leads to stuff like the aftermath of the French Revolution, where it's just madmen in different clothes running shit.
Yeah.
Now, is it realistic to just walk around the streets saying, we want this? We're not going to settle until we get it? No. It took Martin Luther King getting killed for any political action to take place.
Yeah.
Okay? The Civil Rights Act happened after he died.
Yeah.
Okay? But to be on the side of let's just start killing everyone, start slaughtering everyone, it leads to madness. It leads to fear. It leads to ruling via anger.
That's
and it
honestly...
leads to people.
Sorry, go ahead.
And it leads to people being in power that are, my way is the correct way. Everything I believe, all my actions are justified because I'm in the right. And if you're not with me, you're against me. That's what that leads to.
Yeah, it's I feel like that was the underlying message in like those movies, because it's not so black and white. It's a little bit of both in order to have a successful society, which I feel like is what they weren't necessarily arguing for, but they were showing what would happen when these two sides do end up clashing. Which, I mean, is kind of what happens in the movies. Even like, people say that Professor X knew that Magneto was right by when he died, he left the X-Men to Magneto. Mm-hmm. Long story short, it didn't die. 4 years fucking an alien, apparently. But
what happens when Magneto takes over the X-Men?
I don't know.
He says, I'm trying to be better. He says, do not make me be the man that I once was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Action is necessary. Okay? Mm-hmm. Change, unfortunately, comes through violence.
Yeah.
The issue is, if you believe that change is only achieved through only violence, like that's
correct.
Kill everybody and take over. If that's your mindset, Magneto, Megatron, it just leads you to being the psychomaniac that controls everybody and not the people you just killed.
Yeah.
It's a horizontal step.
It's just the transferring of power to the basically same individual.
And the reason I say that, the reason I bring up the French Revolution, what happened after the French Revolution? The French, peasants, the French poor had every fucking right to slaughter everybody in power. They were holding them down, not listening to them, and the little bit of power they gave them in Congress, in the government, wasn't actually anything. They just wouldn't listen to them.
Yeah.
Every right. But the slaughtering and us taking over, that led to almost a decade, maybe even more, of the guillotine being used 50 times a day. They were killing everyone.
You just said that bitch was put to use.
Yeah, so I get the anger and the hatred and the want to lash out, kill everybody, take over you. But it's not good. It's never been good. Violence is necessary, but violence cannot be the only thing that is used. You cannot just solely focus on violence.
I don't even think violence has to necessarily be necessary, but that's only in the situation that we aren't people, I guess. Like, people are greedy, people don't listen, people want what they want, they're going to get it somehow. And that's what happens with, especially, like, those crazy psycho people that are, in power, or that, like Magneto or Megatron. They're greedy, and they won't listen to any outside opinion other than their own, or one that echoes their own thoughts. What it really should take is, in a successful, I guess, leadership, there's somebody who brings up the problem, and the person who, is in control will either listen and fix it, or listen and explain, or show why that isn't necessarily a problem. But people are so hard-struck in their own beliefs that violence does tend to become necessary after a certain point, or unnecessary depending on the situation, I guess.
There's a reason, and to touch on that little assassination that happened in November.
Yeah.
I'm just going to come out. The CEO being killed.
Yes.
It's not good that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as that happened, the action was good, but as soon as that happened, that other healthcare company was like, "Oh yeah, you know the thing about us not paying for amnesia past a certain point? We were just playing.
Yeah,
we were just fucking around.
It brought on change, and like it shouldn't have to be that way. But
it shouldn't have to be that way. And the fact that that company did that enables people and just gets them harder in the ground of, oh, this is how we're gonna.
It justifies their thoughts. So
yeah,
like if you come out after that, CEO getting shot, and you're like, we never did that. See, look here, we're paying for all this stuff now. Now, what about before?
Guys, we like to fuck around a little bit.
We just like to play some silly little funny little games.
We like to act like you going under anesthesia for a life-saving surgery. We're not going to pay for it fully if it goes a little bit over. We were just fucking around.
we were just playing. It's just a joke.
Please, our CEO is in Nicaragua, right? Why did I have to pick that country? Why did I have to pick that country? I not only picked that country, I had to finish the full name. I had to be very clear.
You also like restarted the name at some point, so it got a little close. But please, for the love of God, let everything with this podcast to be okay, so I can keep that soundbite.
So Jack, why'd you pick that? What was the reason behind picking that country?
Please explain your thought process.
I'm going to be fully transparent with you. I was legit terrified that I kept switching up Cloak and Dagger's name. I kept calling Cloak Dagger. And I was so hoping that you wouldn't start going like, why do you think why do you think the black character is Dagger? Why do you think that?
I've got a few funny anecdotes about that. But to start with, I do the same thing, which is why I don't get mad, because their character is called Cloak and Dagger, but the first one you see is Dagger, so it kind of makes no sense. Because how you think about it is like, okay, Cloak would be the first one, mate, right? No, it's Dagger. You always load in as Dagger.
You want to hear a little fact that I got told in the middle of the night at a gas station?
Sure.
This dude clarified this as a subtle, institutionalized racism thing. Okay?
Okay.
And at first, I shook my head, I rolled my eyes, I was like, Mm-hmm. But once you really think about it, you're like, yeah, why is it that way? Picture every coin in your head, from the penny to the quarter, even to the $50 if you want, right?
Yeah.
If you line them up from penny to quarter in order, okay? Can you picture it in your head?
Yes.
Why is it that Abraham Lincoln is on the smallest coin and he's the only one facing the direction he's facing? He's facing left. Everybody else is facing right.
Yeah.
And he said, this dude said, that's because institutionally, he turned his back on the country by freeing the slaves.
What's funny is that Abraham Lincoln didn't care about setting the slaves free.
Well, he did sign the Emancipation Proclamation.
Yes, but
I know the war was not originally. He was like, if I could tie the Union together while not freeing the slaves, I can do that. But he did have strong feelings about slavery. He just cared more about the Union being together. It's not that he didn't care about
It's not that he didn't care. It's just that it wasn't the thing that he was setting out to do. It wasn't in his original plan, because it could have gone. I mean, if he didn't need to free the slaves, he probably wouldn't have. So that's what I'm saying. But
I will say, as a little interjection, to every fucking good old boy, proud Southern boy that is like, ah, yeah, the black man agrees with us. The war wasn't about slavery. It was about slavery. It was about slavery.
Yeah.
Just hold on. We got to, yeah. Anyways. Heard that shit so much growing, but continue.
I'm just, I can't say I agree with the subtle institutionalized racism, but I could see where he's coming from. Because for one, it's also the only copper colored coin.
Yeah.
Besides, the gold dollar, which is, gold color, but
yeah,
it's the only copper colored coin, and he's facing the other direction. So I could see where he's coming from. And I'm also curious as to the origins of why it's the way it is.
It's interesting. Like, that's the only thing I'm going to say about it. I'm not going to say for sure it's one way or the other, but it really gets you thinking of, yeah, why? Why is that the way it is?
It's a really good thought experiment, I guess. But I've also know a guy who is very much against change in general. He says it's inefficient as a means of, I guess, monetary value and stuff. It costs more to make a penny than a penny's worth.
Probably.
No, it does. It's like 20 something cents to make a penny.
Yeah. There's another one that I recently learned about. LeBron James posed for a magazine with a white woman, and they did poses of a gorilla and a white woman on a magazine from like the 50s. I'm not, dude. And when I heard that, I was like, there's no fucking way. But they showed side by side, dude. It's insane. For any of those who want to look it up, look up like LeBron James Gorilla Magazine. I would look it up right now, but if I open up my browser on my computer, it's going to fuck up my camera, and my phone's at like 2%. So.
Vogue cover with LeBron stirs up controversy. Let's see. Holy shit.
Yeah, dude. Please flash it on screen for those of you who don't want to look it.
It's going to be like right down there. What the?
Isn't that so fucking insane?
And his face too?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Come on, man. Come on.
Why did they do that?
There's multiple. There's a King Kong cover and a Destroy this Matt Brute Enlist cover. What?
Yeah, dude. It's so crazy.
That's also the most racist army advertisement I think I've ever seen. Holy shit. I'm saving that one for the pod too.
Dude, that's so fucking... I saw that and I was like, there is no way. Because that magazine came out in like the 2000s.
They got away with it because it was then. That's exactly why. That's exactly why. Filters weren't as much there as they are now. I think we may have had the conversation. They probably were there more, I think you said. So never mind.
Well, not in the 2000s. From like the 90s until like 2016. Yeah, it was free game.
Oh, well. So yeah, I guess my statement stands. That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
You just reminded me of a video I saw, and tell me what you think about this, okay?
Okay.
It was this white couple, and she asked her husband to get her black wrapping paper, okay?
Okay.
And this dude got buckets of KFC and grape Kool-Aid boxes and put presents in them. And he thought it was the funniest shit ever. He was dying on that couch. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, it's not clever. It's not funny. It's just weird.
Like, I'm trying to think if there's any sort of stereotype to that, but I've never heard of any black family, especially, using KFC buckets and like Kool-Aid pouches or anything stereotypical of the sort for presents.
Dude, it's the level of like a comedian who wants to be shocking, or that one friend that says he's edgy but just screams the N-word.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not really even funny. It's just why.
Get it? Because black people like fried chicken? What are you doing?
Exactly. Like, okay, I guess. That I don't know how to feel about that. That's just dumb, I guess.
That's just icky. If you came to my house and you saw that under my tree, and I was like, oh yeah, no, it's black wrapping paper,
I'm probably turning around and walking out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know this dude anymore.
I think you would just look me in the face and go,
you would hear like a really so fast.
Are you fucking you would I think you would look me in the face and say, I'm disappointed. That's what you came up with?
This is actually sad, sir.
Well, that's coming up on an hour.
Yep.
Enjoyed the little conversation, enjoyed the little talk. Let us know what you thought about the podcast in the comments sections of this video, of the Spotify, because I think Spotify does comments as well. I think.
Yes,
I think we have them on.
We have
on the
TikToks.
We have a comment.
Yes.
So the comments are on.
Yes.
Comment on the TikToks, posting pretty much daily, trying to do Lemonade. Not real good at it right now, but promise I'm going to get more consistent with it. Comment on the Instagram. See the Instagram.
Yeah, the Instagram is the RedLightHomies over on Instagram podcast channel. We may also try. I've been hearing another social media called RedNote.
Yeah, but that's like direct Chinese shit.
I've heard that as
and
well.
I don't want to be that guy, but
I've been hearing a lot more people recently bring it up, so it might be a move.
Maybe if we want to completely sell our soul, maybe it's a possibility.
Maybe.
But subscribe and follow wherever you get your podcast. RedLightHomies on everything. If you want to watch it, it's on YouTube. If you want to listen to it, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, Stitcher, Audible, I believe, all of those platforms.
Correct.
And make sure to like, rate, and share, especially rating, especially sharing. Z, what's a 5-star rating these people can leave?
I like listening to these guys just have conversations about random things. 5 stars.
5 stars, but share it as well, whether that's clicking the crooked arrow, sharing it to whatever platform you may, or word of mouth. Word of mouth is very, very important. If someone comes up to you and they're like, hey, buddy, hey, good putty old pal, I want to hear people talk about the possibility of going mad when killing everybody, even though the killing might be justified. Z, what do they tell them?
You can head over to the boys Jackie and Z over at RedLightHomies, where they even draw some coincidences or likenesses in some popular movies, like X-Men, for example.
Like X-Men. This was the homies Jackie and Z.
That's me.
And we'll see y'all next Monday.
Peace out.